Breaking news to bring you this hour. The UK media regulator Ofcom has launched an investigation into X over sexualised imagery on its Grok AI chatbot. This statement from Ofcom goes on to say there have been deeply concerning reports of the Grok AI chatbot account on X being used to create and share undressed images of people, which may amount to intimate abuse, image abuse of pornography, and sexualized images of children that may amount to child sexual abuse material. This statement goes on to say, as the UK's independent online safety watchdog, we urgently made contact with X on Monday, the 5th of January, set a firm deadline of the 9th of January for it to explain what steps it's taken to comply with its duties to protect users in the United Kingdom. The company responded by the deadline, and we carried out an expedited assessment of the available evidence as a matter of urgency. What our investigation will examine, Ofcom has decided to open a formal investigation to establish whether X has failed to comply with its legal obligations under the Online Safety Act in particular. And there's various assessments that Ofcom says it will take into consideration whether the risk of people in the UK seeing content that is illegal in the UK, to carry out an updated risk assessment before making any significant changes to the service, taking appropriate steps to prevent people in the UK from seeing priority illegal content, going on to say as well that they will consider whether sites and apps have taken appropriate steps to protect people in the UK from content that is illegal in the United Kingdom and protect UK children from other content that is harmful to them, such as pornography. And Ofcom's investigation will be under the Online Safety Act. It says their first step is to gather and analyse evidence to determine whether a breach has occurred. If, it goes on to say, based on that evidence, we consider that a compliance failure has taken place, we will issue a provisional decision to the company, who will then have an opportunity to respond to our findings in full as required to the Act. Does go on to say that there are various enforcement powers that Ofcom does have at its disposal. If the investigation, for example, and this has not been founded yet, but if the investigation finds that any company has broken the law, they can require platforms to take specific steps to come into compliance or remedy harm caused by that breach. They can impose fines of up to £18 million or 10% of qualifying worldwide revenue, whichever is greater. Well, considering the size of X and considering the fact that Elon Musk bought it for $44 billion, you would consider that 10% of qualifying worldwide revenue would be higher than 18 million, although at the moment this is only hypothetical. These are the powers that Ofcom has to its disposal if it was to find a company had broken the law. That has not yet been determined by Ofcom in relation to either Grok or X. It goes on to say, actually, in the most serious cases of non-compliance, they can take an application to a court for business disruption measures, through which a court can impose an order or interim on full-time basis, requiring providers to withdraw services from advertising or requiring internet services to block access to a site in the UK. Like I say, that is all potential action that Ofcom does have under the Online Safety Act. At the moment, though, it is undertaking that investigation at this stage, only an investigation at this stage, into X over Grok sexualised imagery. And let me just remind you of the top details of this. The independent online safety watchdog Ofcom today opening a formal investigation into X under the Online Safety Act here in the UK to determine whether or not it's complied with its duties to protect people in the UK from content that is illegal in this country. And this is centred around the Grok AI chatbot. This is the chatbot that is built into X as a platform. If you're not an X user, formerly known as Twitter, you may not have come across it, but this is where users can message Grok. They can send a message publicly to Grok and say, look, answer this question, or in this case, as Ofcom is looking into, potentially alter these images. And there's been a real surge in the new year of people asking Grok to alter images. Many of them, people are concerned about the sexualization of those images. And so Ofcom is saying that it is looking to look into deeply concerning reports, according to this statement, of that AI chatbot being used to create and share undressed images of people, which may amount to intimate image abuse or pornography, and sexualised images of children that may amount to child sexual abuse material. There's been an awful lot of talk about this in Westminster. I believe at least 2 government ministers may have been affected by the situation themselves. So this is the latest from Ofcom.